Welcome back, people. During the comic here, and we are here with a balanced patch for Marvel Snap. Was gonna be doing videos for, but then the patch just had broke out, so I'm just like, what a better time than just hop on this right now. From what I'm seeing, some pretty solid changes. I'm not sure how crazy the patches really get. I wouldn't think they would get too wild, but I think these that I've been seeing in here are pretty sizable. We'll be changing some things up at most levels. A few I haven't seen that much on, so I can't fully say, but a lot of them I have. But we're gonna be diving into it. Gonna be diving in, seeing who's getting their ankles broken and who's getting that little bit of love. But then we're scrolling down here. At first, we got Agent Venom. I'm not gonna be going over all the text. Gonna be going over just pretty much like the quick cliff notes of each one, which they already kind of do a little bit. But Agent Venom, which I thought was a pretty good card, where they are nerfing down just a bit, only putting the power to 3. Pretty much, they're like, okay, maybe 4 was too much of a because in their mind they're thinking like, okay, it's going to be more of a detriment to some cards because they have to go down to 4, but it's more of a buff to get to 4, honestly. So I'm just like putting everything to 3 I feel like is a pretty I liked it at 4. But I understand that is way too much and have to nerf that down to 3 because every card being at 4, so many strategies get so much dirtier being at 4. That's a lot. That is a lot, especially for those low power cards that have like really good abilities. That's really, really good. So knocking it down to 3 is pretty sizable. They did give him a buff in power with that one, but honestly, all the cards going to 3 instead of 4, this is definitely a hit. No way about it. They can give him that little point boost, yada yada, whatever. But it's like, nah, he got smacked with it. But probably for the better. That's a nasty effect, but still a pretty cool card though. But 3 to 4 is a lot though, and them points matter. 3 to 4 is a lot. Now we're gonna get to 2 that I do not have the most experience with is the Surtur and then the Scar. Pretty much both of these boys came out and they were doing too much work. Surtur able to, when you do those 10 power cards, able to gain 3 in some strategies that apparently have been, it's been too much in its favor. Just way too much in its favor. So they're knocking its power down. On with Scar, pretty much the same thing. None of their like actual gameplay mechanics getting hit, just the raw points in both these cases. Now these are 2 that I have had the least dealings with, and even when I was using Surtur, I'm like, okay, hasn't been too crazy, but apparently there's been some strategies that has been showing its behind because it deserved getting hurt with that nerf skip. I'm kind of more in the mid level, so I'm like I can kind of see the back and forth, but apparently like they've been doing some work, and the same thing with the Scar. They have to bring it down a bit. We'll see what 1 point of power really can do to these cards. Seems more like a slap on the wrist kind of a thing. Like I said, I don't know how crazy the power difference can really go. I don't see them going like a 3 to 5 to like you were 3 to 2 now. Like, oh my goodness. But yeah, but for both of these guys, seems like, minor slap on the wrist, trying to tone down the power levels of these just a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's gonna break anything. It's not like, it's not like Agent where it's like that's a whole mechanic flip where it's just like a point difference. But yeah, we'll see how those play out. But it doesn't seem like that big of a hit, honestly. I feel like it could be worse. Now, Silver Sabo. This also is kind of I don't want to say like a slap on the wrist because you can't go any lower. It went from 1 to 1 to 1 to 0. You can't go no lower. But this card is just a good card. No matter how you kind of slice it, just ripping 2 from your opponent and putting it onto you, you just can't really beat that. That's just good. It's a handful of cards that is just like, bro, this is good no matter what. A lot of like the +2 cards out there and whatnot, like the Forge and whatnot, where it's just like, it's just good. But ripping from you to give to myself is a really nice is really nice, and especially making it different from the other kind of cards that do like the +2s and everything. But yeah. But apparently she was doing too much work, too good, too splashable. So I had to take that power down just a little bit, making her that 1-for-0, which is still pretty good. Like I said, just shaving down, a little bit of the points, not the mechanics itself. And this is what makes like even the Venom strategy, the Agent Venom so good. Because Agent Venom, serviceable, and then it's just like you can instantly be, because that was like at 4, she can be at 6. A 1 card costing being to 6, and you lose 2. It's like, bro, that's kind of nasty. That is kind of nasty. That's why I'm like, it's certain cards like this, I'm like, that can easily be like crazy without that much work, and then you're having to pay for it. Nasty. Pretty nasty. So they had nerfed her down. Still a good card. It's just not as powerful, especially with like Agent Venom getting hit as well. Pretty sure that was also like, partners in crimes there. So yeah, also getting hit a little bit, but just a little shaving off the top. Luckily, none got hit with the ability. Pretty freaking cool. Okay. And now we're at Shadow King. Another just good card. Just a good card, taking away all the boosts that these other cards get. And also getting another kind of like just slap on the wrist. Luckily, nothing has dealt with the actual ability itself and how that operates. It's just too good. Just another card that is just like, then can just come in, can just disrupt the other person's plays, put everything down. But luckily, nothing too big. I enjoyed this card. I think this is a pretty good card, and glad that it didn't get too hit. But I can understand that it's being too strong. I can understand that. Certain cards and certain strategies have to do a lot of work to get those boosts. And then this guy comes out the woodwork and boom, all that out the window. You're like, come on. And only for 2. Only for 2. Like with a lot of these, like these are low costing cards. 1, 2, Agent at 2. Like these are low costing cards that do some nasty work. You're gonna get down to Black Widow. Do not care. Oh my god, she got buffed. I don't care about Black Widow. I'm not the biggest fan of this card. It has some gimmicks and whatnot. They bumped her up. She got buffed. They pushed her up a point, but I'm not a fan of the Black Widow card that much. I haven't seen anything too crazy with it either. Solid card, getting this little buffs. Cool. Nothing super to write home about. Black Widow's is a fine card. Now we got Destroyer. Just another card. Apparently, its ability had got changed to on reveal, so which apparently had given it a little bit of a nerf from when it was before. So right here, they're just giving it the old love with the +2, which makes it a powerhouse of a card. A 6-for-16, strong. It destroys everything else, which could also go into certain strategies. But that is strong. That is a strong card right there. Trying to think of other ones that kind of rival that. That's not like not like the Astronaut and whatnot. But just by itself, that is just powerful. They just thought it was just underperforming with the other 6-cost cards, which is understandable. So they're just bumping up that power even more. So cool. Destroyer has more power to him. And then we have Valentina, one that I haven't personally been able to use, but this is the one that I have been peeping. That's in the cache right now. I thought this card was super cool. I think this is a super cool card. Cannot wait to get my hands on it. And they just buffed it. Getting a 6-cost card -2 instead of -3, crazy. Because even -3, I feel, wasn't that big of a drawback, seeing how crazy some -6 can be. When in terms of pure power or effect, I'm like, I would not even care that much. But now that you just made it -2, I'm getting a 6 card. I'm just thinking of so many of the 6 cards. I'm like, -3 wasn't even bad to me. But now it's only -2. This card is going to be super good, especially for a 2 cost. That is so good. This is such a good card. I feel that just got better. This is one that I'm gonna be actually trying to get for. If I can get my keys up, but because this is a super cool card. I feel like Valentina is a really cool card. It's gonna be really good. I expect to be seeing a lot of it. I need to see how all levels of play be doing their things, but this is a dope card, and I hope to see a lot from it. Can't wait to get my hands on it personally. And then we have Winter Soldier. These next 3 we're gonna be seeing here are part of that, like minuscule buff tier. I feel like especially for like the low for lower series play, because pretty much is giving him just one more point, which is awesome. More points, more fun, and in my opinion, especially something like in Winter Soldier's case, because you got to jump through a little bit of hoops, with the destruction and everything, which isn't like too crazy. But the fact that he just gets one more point on top of that, awesome. We take that. Nothing too crazy. None else of his other things got changed. Just more points. Awesome. We love to see it. So good bucks for Winter Soldier. Got some strategy with Winter Soldier. Good that I can implement them. Then we got Jessica Jones. I feel like one of the super low tier staples. Still love this card. And it just getting buffed. It's getting that +5, baby. Hitting that 10 mark, which is awesome. Which is really, really cool. And then honestly, actually also saying things like, won't be affected by like Shang-Chi and whatnot. But just another card that's just getting a little bit of love. Can get possibly lost in the sauce. Does come like a little bit of drawback because of how it's like played, nothing on the location. But it's just getting more points, which is awesome. Hopefully to be seeing it more. Always thought it was a cool card. It's just getting a little bit more love. And then we have one of my favorite cards, Heimdall, who is just luckily just getting more love, baby. Hitting that almighty 10. 10 is the name of the game of this patch. It's like people get nerfed because of level 10, then people getting buffed to hit that 10 mark. And Heimdall is one of them. Love this card, part of one of my favorite like move deck strategies, and I just love to see them getting more love. He's getting more points, making more of a big boy with having still a great effect on top of that. But yeah, he's just straight up getting stronger, getting more love. Love to see it. And then have Crystal as well. Crystal's a card that I feel like has a pretty good, easy ability, pretty much. Just draw a card. Just each player just draws one card. And this one is getting even stronger. I'm surprised it's actually been performing as low as it is. Mainly because I believe like your opponent drawing a card is like, you want to draw a card, but it's like he gets one too. It's like, I don't know about that. And they trying to buff up the power, which I feel like for a card like this, the power isn't the thing that matters at all. It's all about the ability. But just trying to make it a little bit more enticing to players to be just like, okay, we'll give like a little bit more juice, but it's all about the ability on this one. It's all about the ability. It's still the fact that your opponent is drawing a card, which will always be the biggest detriment, but you do get to draw that card. And maybe that bumping it up one more makes it a little bit more of a, of a less of a risk. I feel like it's still like in the same spot, to be honest. I feel like something like that is still in the same spot because the power wasn't the point. And I don't think 1 point is going to make a difference. But if you've been using Crystal in your strategy, you like Crystal, now you just get more bang for your buck, pretty much. I can still see in some strategies how that's worth it. Drawing that one card and then like at least giving your opponent that one draw. Or you got some strategy where it's like it doesn't matter or we're going to be discarding their stuff anyway. Yada, yada, yada. But pretty much a solid card. Just getting better. Still risky, but still good. Still pretty good in my opinion. And we have Agatha. It was Agatha all along. Yada, yada, yada. Pretty much this nothing changed. Nothing changed. She does the same thing. Just pretty much how it's worded. I I need to see this card really, really in play. To be honest, I don't. I don't see it with this card. I need to really see how crazy this card can be. Like, because I just don't. Like, I don't think Agatha is going to be playing better than me. It seemed like something for the funds, for the shits and giggles, pretty much, of letting Agatha, just play for you and whatnot. That does seem like fun, but I'm like, on a real, like, competitive thing, it's like, whatever. She's pretty powerful, though. I mean, at 614, she is a very strong card. But yeah, it just seems like more of a fun gimmick than anything. Nothing changed with her. Yeah, a real cool, quirky card though. I give it that. Real different card when in terms of that. But yeah, and then we have what I feel to be just about one of the biggest changes so far is Thanos. Such a simple change, but it is a huge change. It is a huge change. Thanos no longer starts in your hand. Thanos gets added to your hand, which means such a completely different thing. And it's like being like a card player, something like that is such a different thing. That makes Thanos so much of a better card. So much of a better card. You are not even they put it in here like taking up space. He will no longer take up space. He gets added. It's a bonus. He is now a bonus thing that you get, which is awesome. That is such a cool change. That will make him so much more efficient. I expect to see more Thanos after this. Like, Thanos was already dope. His gameplay mechanic is freaking cool. But the fact that he is not a detriment anymore, this is just a plus. That is awesome. That is awesome. Partner him up with somebody like Crystal, start them draws going. That's when it'll be worth it. That's when it'll really be worth it. Get them Infinity Stones out and get to work. But that is a crazy change. I think they even they refer to this as like what's his name, like Quicksilver, how he starts off in your hand, but drawing instead is just like it's a bonus card now. I get something more. It's just like, it's so awesome. I feel like that is an incredible change. I feel like that's gonna his value, in my opinion, has shot way up, way up. No longer just like it was like a dead card before, but it's just like the utility is just much worse than something starting than you adding. Super awesome, super cool. I think that is a really welcome change, and yeah, I think he might be the biggest winner of this patch so far. Thanos, Agatha, Crystal. Yeah, I think because a lot of the other people just got simple like points adjusted outside of Valentina, who is also one of the big winners, because I feel like that's just a great ability that just got better. Everybody else kind of got more so point changes, nothing to their like how they actually function. His is an actual function that got changed, which is incredibly good, only for the better. But that is it for this one. People like Thanos, people like Valentina. Then you got the ones like Winter Soldier, Jessica Heimdall, ones that are just purely just getting buff, which is really, really great. And then you have ones that got kind of got that smack on the wrist, like Shadow King, like Super Sable, Agent Venom. No, I feel like Agent Venom. That's a pretty decent nerf. That wasn't a slap on the wrist. 3 to 4 is a huge difference. That is a huge difference. It's 1 point, but across all your cards, that is a huge difference. That will make you rethink your entire Agent Venom strategy, in my opinion. Even my having just thinking about that, I'm like 3 to 4 is like, yeah, that is a lot. But outside of Venom getting kind of smacked up, everybody else got pretty fair slaps on the wrist. especially with it just being like, point changes here and there. But yeah, but I think this is a like I said before, I don't know of all like the patch notes that really happened in this game so far, but from what I'm seeing, this is a pretty nice one. Some of the other older cards are getting some love. Some of the broken stuff is getting toned down a little bit. Fun changes like Thanos is happening that helps with this accessibility like a lot more. I think this is really kind of cool. And we'll see how it plays out after that. And even the cards that got smacked are still good cards. Shadow King's still a good card. Age of Venom are they're still good cards. It's just like it just kind of turned down that ignorance a little bit, honestly. But yeah, but that's it for the patch notes. Some of these cards I cannot wait to get. Like Valentina, I want that card very badly. I think that card is legit. So many strategies. I can't wait to like implement older cards. Can't wait to even jump back on and play with because they just got that much stronger. And even 1 point matters. Even when they get shaved down, the 1 points they do matter. So we'll see how they be playing now. But that's all for this time. Been during the comic. Happy snapping, everybody. Happy snapping.